You can eat right, exercise daily, and take all the right supplements, but if your footwear is wrong, it can undo everything. Most seniors underestimate how much their shoes affect their mobility, stability, posture, and even brain health. What you wear on your feet determines how confidently you move or how quickly you fall. In this guide, we expose 8 common footwear mistakes that silently steal years from your independence and reveal 3 life-changing shoe solutions that bring back balance, energy, and strength. Worn-out sneakers. Most seniors don't think twice about their shoes, especially if they still feel comfortable. But the truth is, comfort can be misleading. The sneakers you've been wearing for years might feel soft, but that softness could be hiding something harmful. Over time, sneakers lose their support. The midsole, the part that cushions your step, gets flat and hard. The arch support breaks down. And what's left is a shoe that's no longer protecting your joints. Every time you walk in worn-out sneakers, your feet hit the ground harder. That shock travels through your knees, hips, and spine. It doesn't feel like an injury, but the damage builds up slowly in the form of sore joints, stiff backs, and tight hips. The most common sign is discomfort after walking. You might notice that your legs get tired faster, your back feels tight, or your knees feel sore even if you didn't walk far. That's not just aging, that's poor shock absorption. Most people assume shoes are still good until they look broken. But by the time your sneakers look worn out, they've already lost most of their cushion. And if you wear them every day, the inside can break down in just 6 to 12 months. Even if the top of the shoe looks okay, the part you can't see, the support under your foot, may be long gone. And it's not just about comfort. Worn-out shoes can also increase your fall risk. When the sole wears down, you lose grip. Slippery floors, wet sidewalks, and uneven ground become dangerous. If the tread is flat or uneven, your balance suffers. A small slip can lead to a fall, and for seniors, one fall can mean weeks of pain, hospital visits, or even permanent injury. What used to feel like a stable step now becomes unpredictable. Your body has to work harder just to keep you upright. And when your ankles and legs are already weaker than they used to be, the risk goes up fast. Another common issue is posture. Your feet are your foundation. When the base is off, your whole body adjusts. If your shoes don't support your arches or heels, your ankles turn inward. Your knees compensate, your hips tighten, and your lower back takes the stress. That leads to chronic tension, reduced mobility, and a feeling of being stuck in your own body. It's not just about pain, it's about energy. If your shoes aren't doing their job, your body uses more effort with every step. That leaves you tired faster, even when you're doing normal daily tasks. So how do you know when it's time to replace your sneakers? Here are a few signs. The sole feels flat. The tread is worn smooth. Your shoes feel loose or too soft. Your feet hurt after walking. You start leaning to one side, or your knees and back hurt more than usual. These are all red flags. Your shoes should hold your foot firmly in place. They should give you a little bounce when you walk. And they should feel stable, not squishy or floppy. What kind of shoes should you wear? Look for sneakers that have good arch support, a strong heel cup, thick soles, and proper grip. If you're not sure what to buy, go to a store where they let you walk around and test them. Pick shoes that feel supportive, not just soft. It should feel like your foot is being held in place, not sinking. And remember, just because a shoe is expensive doesn't mean it's good. Focus on how it fits and how it functions. If you walk daily, even just for errands or chores, replace your shoes at least once a year. If you walk often or stand for long periods, replace them every 6 months. It's a small investment for a big reward, fewer injuries, less pain, and better energy. And if you've been dealing with aches and stiffness for months, switching to the right shoes can make a difference within days. Shoes are not just part of your outfit, they're part of your health. The wrong shoes won't scream when they start failing. They'll just let your body absorb the punishment until something gives out. Don't wait for a fall. Don't wait until your joints hurt every morning. Upgrade your shoes before your body forces you to. Slip-on shoes with no heel support. Slip-on shoes feel like freedom. No bending down, no laces, no hassle. You just slide your feet in and go. And for many older adults, that convenience becomes part of daily life. They're easy to wear, easy to clean, and often lightweight. But what feels easy for your hands often creates extra work for your feet and more risk for your body. Because when you wear a shoe with no heel support, your foot starts to move inside the shoe, not with it. That movement may feel small, but over time it leads to something serious. Instability, and instability is a hidden enemy. The heel is supposed to be locked in place when you walk. That gives your ankle a strong base. That gives your stride control. But when your heel floats inside a soft shell like it does with most slip-ons, your body starts to adapt. And not in a good way. You take shorter steps to keep the shoe from flying off. You start shuffling, dragging your toes just to hold the shoe on. Your hips and knees adjust to a new rhythm, one that's not based on strength, but on caution. And that cautious movement becomes your new normal. Before you know it, your entire walking pattern has changed, not because of age, but because your shoes trained your body to be less stable. And the more you wear slip-ons, the more your ankles weaken. Because every step you take without heel support requires your foot muscles to work harder, gripping the inside of the shoe just to stay in place. That weakens the connection between your foot and the ground. It makes your body rely on tension instead of balance. And that tension creeps upward through the knees, into the hips, and eventually into the lower back. It's a chain reaction. One loose heel turns into tight calves, sore knees, aching hips, and a spine that's always trying to correct itself. These aren't just small adjustments, they're changes to your entire movement system. Now think about how often you walk on uneven ground, sidewalk cracks, driveway slopes, wet floors, thick carpets. If your foot is floating inside a shoe with no heel structure, those surfaces become dangerous. All it takes is one shift, one step where your foot moves, but your shoe doesn't, and your balance is gone. Your body reacts. But as we age, reaction time slows, and the reflexes that used to catch us just aren't as sharp. A stumble turns into a fall becomes a fracture, and a fracture changes everything: your mobility, your independence, your confidence. And this isn't rare. Many seniors who fall weren't running or moving fast. They were walking slowly in shoes they thought were safe, the kind of shoe they've worn for years. And that's the trap. Slip-ons feel familiar. They feel soft. But that softness is not support. It's freedom without stability. And the older we get, the more our body needs structure, not softness. It needs shoes that hug the heel, support the arch, and hold the foot in place. There's also the muscle memory effect. When you shuffle to keep a shoe on, your brain starts to rewire your walking pattern. Your steps get shorter, your toe lift weakens, and you lose the natural power of your stride. That change is subtle, but over time, it leads to weaker legs, slower walking, and less balance. You become more dependent on handrails, walls, furniture, not because your body is failing, but because your shoes have trained it to do less. That's the long-term damage of slip-ons. They teach you to move less like a strong adult and more like someone already preparing to fall. So what should you wear instead? It doesn't mean you need heavy boots or complicated footwear. It means choosing shoes with a structured heel, good grip, and a secure fit. If laces are hard to tie, go for Velcro or elastic no-tie systems. What matters is that your foot stays locked in, not floating. You should feel stable the moment your heel hits the shoe. When you lift your foot, the shoe should move with you, not lag behind. That's real support. That's what your joints are asking for, even if they don't say it out loud. And don't wait for pain to tell you something's wrong. Watch your steps. Are you dragging your feet more? Leaning forward slightly? Taking smaller steps without realizing it? Those are early signs of gait breakdown, and your shoes might be leading the way. Ask yourself honestly, are your shoes helping you walk better or just easier to put on? Because easy is not always safe, and safe doesn't always feel soft. The right shoe should feel like alignment, like stability, like your body is being held together at the ground level. That kind of support makes you more confident. It helps you move faster, stand taller, stay safer even when walking alone. So if you're serious about staying strong, mobile, and independent in your later years, don't just check your blood pressure, check your shoes. Because every fall prevented starts with a solid step. House slippers worn all day. They're soft, they're warm, they're easy to slide into without bending down. For many seniors, house slippers are the go-to choice indoors, especially after retirement. They feel comfortable, safe, gentle, but that comfort comes with a hidden cost. The more you wear slippers, the more your feet adapt to the lack of support. And over time, that softness which once felt like relief becomes one of the most dangerous things you can wear inside your home. Most house slippers have no arch support, no heel control, and very little grip. They're designed for quick, short trips from bed to the kitchen or from the living room to the bathroom. But they're not built for all-day wear. When you spend hours in them, your feet don't just relax, they stop working. Your toes begin to claw the soft sole to keep the slipper from sliding. Your arches sink, your ankles wobble, and your lower legs stop engaging the way they should during a normal walk. The foot, one of the most complex structures in your body, is no longer supported or stimulated, and that affects everything above it. The result: foot fatigue, ankle weakness, and lower back stiffness. You may not feel it after one day, but after weeks or months of wearing slippers around the house, many older adults start noticing pain in their heels, tightness in their calves, or a feeling that their legs are slow to wake up. This isn't just aging, it's a loss of structure. Without real shoes, your feet aren't moving through a healthy range of motion. Your toes aren't pushing off the floor. Your arches aren't lifting. Your ankle joints aren't stabilizing your steps. You're moving, but you're not activating the muscles that keep you strong. And then comes the bigger danger: loss of sensory feedback. As we age, the nerves in our feet begin to decline. This means our brain receives fewer signals from the ground, fewer alerts when the floor is uneven, when a step is off, or when we're leaning slightly to one side. Good footwear helps stimulate these nerves, keeping the connection between the brain and the foot alive and responsive. But slippers with their soft bottoms and floppy sides do the opposite. They numb that connection. They deaden the feedback, and that puts you at greater risk of falling. Think about how much of your day is spent at home. For many seniors, it's the majority of their time. And if you're wearing unsupportive slippers for hours, you're training your body to move poorly inside your own house, the very place where most falls occur. Slippers slide on hardwood. They twist on tile. They offer no protection if you trip on a rug or catch the edge of a step. And when your nerves are already slower to react, the slipper becomes a liability, not a comfort. It's not just about risk, it's about mobility. When your feet are weak, your walking speed drops. Your stride shortens, your balance suffers, and you start avoiding movement, not because you're tired, but because your foundation is failing. The body is smart, it senses instability, it tightens up, and before long you find yourself moving cautiously, reaching for support, and feeling older than you are. Not because of your age, but because your slippers told your brain to stop engaging. So what should you do? First, understand this. Your home is not a place to switch off your body. It's where you should train it, nourish it, and protect it. You don't need running shoes in your living room, but you do need something structured. Look for indoor footwear that has arch support, a firm heel, and a non-slip sole. Something you can move confidently in. There are now slippers designed for support, posture, and safety with proper footbeds, grip, and structure. They feel like comfort, but they function like a real shoe. And most importantly, set limits. If you love your soft slippers, that's fine. Wear them for 10-15 minutes in the morning or before bed, but don't live in them. Once you're up and active, switch to something that supports movement. Something that reminds your feet they still have work to do. Your house should not be a place where your body switches off. It should be a gym for gentle training, a space to stretch, stand tall, and keep your walking system sharp. Because here's the hard truth. You don't lose mobility all at once. You lose it slowly through years of small habits that make your body weaker without you noticing. Slippers are one of those habits, easy at first, but costly over time. Don't let soft shoes make your muscles lazy. Don't let comfort steal your balance. You've worked hard to stay mobile, so give your feet the tools to support that freedom. You're not too old to stay strong, but you are too smart to wear bad shoes. Sandals with flat soles. They feel light, easy, barely there. In warm weather, it's tempting to slip into flat sandals, flip-flops, or minimalist slides and enjoy the breeze on your feet. But what feels casual and comfortable for a few minutes can become a biomechanical problem if worn for hours, days, or an entire season. For seniors, these flat shoes are not harmless. They're quiet foot killers, silently stripping away your support, strength, and stability with every step. The first thing to understand is that most flat sandals, especially flip-flops and thin-soled slides, offer zero arch support. That means your foot, especially the midsection, is doing all the work of absorbing shock every time you hit the ground. Without a supportive arch, the foot collapses inward, a movement called overpronation. This might not sound like a big deal, but that inward roll causes a chain reaction through the body. When the foot flattens, the knee rotates inward, the hip tilts, and the spine adjusts to balance your posture. And now, what started as simple foot fatigue becomes a full body misalignment, leading to chronic knee strain, hip pain, lower back tension, and stiffness throughout your entire walking system. One of the most common side effects of flat sandals is plantar fasciitis, the stabbing heel pain that shows up first thing in the morning or after sitting. It's caused by strain on the thick band of tissue that supports your arch. When you wear flat shoes with no arch support, this tissue stretches and tears microscopically over time. The result? That sharp pain in your heel that makes walking feel like punishment. And if that's not enough, these sandals also contribute to Achilles tendonitis, inflammation in the tendon that connects your calf to your heel, especially if your stride is already shortened or stiff. But the danger doesn't end with poor arch support. Many flat sandals are also loose and flimsy, offering little to no grip around the heel or midfoot. This forces your toes to grip the sole just to keep the shoe in place, a habit that throws off your natural walking rhythm. Instead of lifting your foot and pushing off from your big toe, as the body is designed to do, you end up dragging your feet or clenching your toes. This weakens the small muscles in your feet, reduces your gait efficiency, and makes your stride less powerful and less stable. Over time, these adjustments affect how confident you feel when walking. You may notice yourself moving slower, taking shorter steps, or feeling uneasy on uneven ground. Your brain senses the instability, and instead of encouraging movement, it starts to protect you from it. That's when hesitation creeps in. You avoid long walks. You stop going outside as much. You begin to lose the very mobility that keeps you independent. Not because your legs are weak, but because your shoes are teaching your body to fear the ground. And this all happens without a warning. Flat sandals don't cause a dramatic injury. They don't leave bruises or cause instant pain. They just allow tiny dysfunctions to build up until your joints feel unstable and your muscles give out sooner than they should. You begin blaming your age for the discomfort when really the problem started at your feet. So what should you wear instead? The solution isn't to avoid sandals altogether. It's to choose ones with structure and support. Look for sandals that have a molded footbed with arch support, a firm heel cup, and adjustable straps that secure the foot in place. Your foot should not slide when you walk. It should feel gently held stable, upright, and aligned. Some of the best supportive sandals now come with orthopedic designs that protect your arches and absorb impact without looking bulky or clinical. You don't have to give up comfort. You just need to redefine it. Also, consider using sandals only for short periods, not as your all-day footwear. If you'll be walking or standing for more than 15-20 minutes, switch to a proper walking shoe with full support. Use sandals for quick tasks, not long outings. And if you've been wearing flat sandals for years, now is the time to reset your stride mechanics. Walk barefoot on firm ground at home for a few minutes each day to reawaken your foot muscles. Practice calf stretches. Strengthen your arches. And most of all, listen to your pain. That dull heel ache, that calf tightness, that slight wobble on uneven ground. These are not just aging. They're signals, warnings, and your shoes may be the source. Your feet carry your entire life. They support your independence, your posture, and your confidence. But they can't do it alone. They need structure, they need reinforcement, and they need you to stop choosing footwear based on habit or convenience. Flat sandals might feel good now, but long term, they cost more than they give. Don't trade strength for softness. Don't let your shoes steal your stride. Your body still remembers how to move with power. Give it the foundation to do so. Heavy shoes or boots. Some footwear is simply too heavy for the aging body. Construction-style boots, thick-soled fashion shoes, or chunky hiking footwear can burden the legs far more than you realize. Every step turns into effort not because you're out of shape, but because your footwear is working against you. This affects older adults with even mild arthritis or neuropathy the most. Wearing heavy shoes all day fatigues the quadriceps, stresses the hips, and shortens your walking range. You may start dragging your feet to compensate or walking with locked knees. These habits lead to falls, imbalance, and faster physical decline. Lightweight shoes, on the other hand, allow for longer movement, improved posture, and more energy at the end of the day. You don't need to dress like you're in a snowstorm every day. Go lighter, go longer. High heels, yes, even low ones. Many older women keep a pair of heels for outings, church or family gatherings, but heels don't have to be 5 inches to be dangerous. Even a 1-2 inch lift shifts your entire center of gravity forward. Your hips compensate by tilting back. Your spine adjusts. Your calf muscles shorten, and your knees carry unnatural pressure with every step. This affects not just walking, but standing. Long periods in heels, even comfortable ones, create strain in the low back and fatigue in the glutes and hamstrings. Plus, heels reduce your ground contact, which makes balance more difficult on unpredictable surfaces. If you want elegance, opt for structured flats or wedge-style shoes with built-in support. Beauty and balance should never be at war. Backless clogs or mules. Shoes without back straps force your foot to overwork. Without something to hold your heel, your toes must claw the footbed just to keep the shoe from sliding off.